Kyle Bratchak here, an avid dual sport and adventure rider. So here on the 950, I got quite a conundrum. If I run the Continental TKC80s, I tend to wear through those pretty quick and don't have as good a grip on. The Rally Raid 908 is usually what I run. I normally average about 1,500 miles out of that tire. Sometimes I get up to 2,000 miles. And then the best tire I found to run on this bike is the Pirelli MT21. It does a really great job. Just recently I came across a new brand of tires called MotoZ Tyres. MotoZ Tyres. Come on and take a look at this tread. So the 908, being it is the best tire I've found so far to run on the 950 with all its horsepower and torque, if you take a look, the gap between the chevrons here usually causes a little bit of problems and not allowing me to get enough traction to the ground. As you can see here with the MotoZ tires, we've got quite a bit of distance here between the lugs, and this should give us some better grip. In addition to that, if you take a look at this tread pattern that they've got here on the side, this tire here actually has a greater contact patch than the 908 here. Here on the side, when you're leaned all the way over, you've got quite a bit of open void here. Whereas with the MotoZ tire, you don't. So I'm going to mount these tires up, and then this weekend I'm going to go out and hit the trail. I'll follow up with you after this weekend, let you know how many miles I've got on the tires. We'll take a look at the tread depth, see how much we've worn off, and then I'll give you my opinion on how well these grip in the dirt and how well they stick to the road. Now, the 450, I also have that common problem. The problem with the 450 is, if I run the 908 Rally Raid on the back of this thing, it just doesn't want to spin it like the 950 does. So it's not a good tire for the back of the 450. What I usually run back here is the Metzeler 6-Day Extreme. The problem with that is it wears out extremely quickly. 1 or 2 trips on the road, 100, 200 miles, toast. So with the MotoZ tires, I found a nice alternative for the 450. This one here is called the Enduro IT. If you take a look at this, the tread pattern here in the center is very similar to the 6-Day, but on the side, you got some great contact patch. So we'll see how this runs. Up in the front here on the 450 on the 6-Day Extreme tire, what happened with this is I wear these knobs out really quickly in the braking direction. And it looks like with this MotoZ tire, I'm going to have a little bit more rubber up here in the center. And our contact patch here on the front looks pretty good. So, this is a test. Never run these tires before. We're going to go put them on both the 950 and the 450. Take them up into the mountains and onto the dirt this weekend. Get some street, get some dirt, and we'll come back on Wednesday and have a report for you. So I just returned from a 2-day adventure ride. So far, I'm extremely happy with these MotoZ tires. I've had them on the bike for just about 2,000 miles now. They've been through 4 different adventures. As you can see, we're about halfway down on the tread wear. So I'm probably anticipating another 1,000, maybe 1,500 miles out of these tires before we got to take them off and toss them. Now, how do they ride? They ride really well. I'd say they corner about as well as, say, a TKC80, and they corner way better than, say, a Rally Raid. In the dirt, these are far superior to any of the D.O.T. tires I've ever ran on this bike. As you can see, they're holding up quite well. Come take a look at the front tire real quick. As you can see here in the front, you get the typical wear pattern that you'd see on most knobbies that you ride on the street. Lots and lots of tread life still left on this. Of course, there's no power that gets thrown to it, so it'll probably last twice as long as the rear, so 2 rears to every front. This tire is extremely loud on the street. Riding next to it, it's extremely noisy. But in the dirt, handles awesome. On the pavement, corners really well. MotoZ tires, I'd recommend them. Here are a couple action shots of the MotoZ tires in action. These tires are awesome in the dirt, awesome on the street. I highly recommend them for any of the 450/950 combinations.